Hi, welcome. Oh, you're not particularly stable, but I tried that. Hi, welcome to a new video. This is going to be what I'm calling like a micro vlog. I had an idea to sit with you for a hot minute, by which I mean this afternoon, and have a look at some of Tor.com's short stories. They bring new ones out every month. And I'm going to pick 5. I'm going to go through them and you'll pick with me, I guess. I'm going to screen record while I do it, and you'll see me pick 5 of the Tor.com short stories. They're all sci-fi fantasy. That's what Tor does. And we'll be talking about the picks and how they pick what looks like to me a fun Tor.com novella, and then we're going to read them and then we're going to rank them. So we're going to pick 5. I will get my screen recording going and then we can do the thing. Well, the angle might be a little different because I had to clear out some space on my SD card, but we're back. I am screen recording, and let's open up to this. This is what we're looking at. I want to look at fiction. This is where you go if you're on their website. So basically all these are normally Tor.com short stories. So what we want is, sometimes I browse by genre, I don't always. This is their fiction that you can click through. Okay, that already sounds great. I have read something by Michael Swanwick before. So you can see here that it's got a little summary of the story. This is browsed by newest, so keep that in mind. These are, oh, that switched to author. It was on newest. So that's, it will have been released, like it only got released a week or so ago. But that one sounds great, so that's going to be our first one. Here is the cover, or the artwork, and then the story follows immediately underneath. They vary in length, but they're all never not too long. That's the end there, and then you see the comments. So that's gonna be our first one. I'm actually gonna go back so I can open it in a new tab, not in the same tab like a dumbass, because you know, there we go, in a new tab hanging out over there. We'll come back to that when we read it. I'm not gonna read a Spanish translation, that doesn't work for me. Masquerade season. Sorry, I do have this vacuum thing, if you can hear that going. 3 beautiful masquerade seasons. What does favors of these masquerades? Sometimes means disobeying. Masquerade season. That sounds awesome as well. I haven't read anything by Pemi Aguda before, but that also sounds cool. Honestly, like, I am an easy sell. Should I also maybe pick something older that from an author I know? Because this also sounds great. What is a Pishal Pyrie? Let's look it up. Okay, a ghost story, cool. That sounds fun. Okay, let's look and see. We might come back to that. I'm running out of charge, but we're gonna roll with it. I'm gonna look for something by an author I know, that I've read something full form from. I've read this before. And this is really good. So we're looking for something from an author I'm familiar with. I've read this, it was really good. Tamsin Muir I've read from before, but I have read that one. So we can't pick that today. Juice Like Wounds by Sean Maguire I've also read, as is The Necessary Author by Garth Nix. I've read that. Cam Spencer I've heard of, but I haven't actually, and I own one of their books, but I haven't actually read anything from them, so we won't pick that. I've read this. This could be interesting. I haven't read anything from Melissa Marr, but I'm familiar with them. Oh, cool. This was the one that was the Spanish translation. I'm tempted to read that, so let's pop that up. That looks fun. And I've read from Mark Lawrence before, but this is in the Wildcards world. I haven't read enough of any of that, so I'm not going to read that. I'm not really interested. I've read If You Take My Meaning. I've read this. I've read this. I've heard of Maria Devana Headley, but I haven't read any of their stuff before. But this, The Girlfriend's Guide to Gods, is a great title. Is that not super compelling? I'm gonna pick it. Did you want to see the covers of these? So we did Anna Without a Crow. This is the cover for Masquerade Season, which I think looks real cool. Like, how cool does that look? Girlfriend's Guide to Gods. Looks like this. That looks so cool. And Little Free Library, the cover looked like this, which I think is also cool. So often I pick on a combo of title, summary. Often the title piques my interest first, then the summary, then the cover. Obviously, because you only see a little summary of the covers here. Let's look for another author. I'm familiar with Garth Nix. I haven't read Dislocation Space. But we've passed a lot of Garth Nix. I've read a lot from Garth Nix, so maybe we keep looking for something I haven't read before. I'm interested in reading stuff by S.L. Holm, but I haven't read from them before. I have the novella, which aren't published online, and the short stories published online. I have the novella on my Kindle, but I haven't read it yet. Or one of their novellas. Oh, this is by Rivers Solomon. Which I've read before and I really, really like. Let's do that one as our fifth one, as going for an author, rather than a straight from the title. There's lots here that I am interested in. Oh, here's another Sean Maguire I haven't read before. But I think we'll go with the Rivers Solomon one. So here's the artwork for this. Okay, I'm gonna go add these all to my Goodreads. I'm gonna have a read of them, and then I will come back in with my thoughts on each one for you. Alright, so I think I'm going to start with, I've just written down like how many pages are in each, according to Goodreads, which is a rough indicator of the length of the little short. The shortest one is Little Free Library, which only has 12 pages according to the Goodreads. Masquerade has 19. That was Masquerade Season is only has 19. Then Blood is Another Word for Hunger has 25, and then the other two, Annie Without Crow and The Girlfriend's Guide to Gods, have 32 pages each. So I think I'm going to start shortest and work my way up for funsies, for no other reason than funsies. So we're going to start with Little Free Library, and then also try and read Masquerade Season now. I'm also reading some other things for my other vlog today, so I'm going to kind of jump back and forward between the two. But you'll see. That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with Little Free Library by Naomi Kritzel. Okay, that was so cute. Let me read you the actual tag. I don't think I quite said that. It says, upon setting up her Little Free Library, it's like a little box where you put in books, leave a book, take a book kind of thing. Megan develops an unexpected friendship with a mysterious book borrower. This was so cool. It was very whimsical, very bizarre, but like fun and intriguing. I loved it. I loved it to pieces. I think I'm gonna give this one 5 stars. I know I've just started, so like my list isn't really developed, but that's top of my list. That's top of my list. I'm I loved that. We will see how the others go. That was great. So little free library. I'm just typing it into my little spreadsheet. Top of the list. 5 stars. I loved that. It was such a good short story. It's one of the best ones I've read. The ability to be like succinct and clear but still fun or emotional or intriguing is really what I find really fun and interesting about short short stories. I actually really like it that it was so short. I think it really did something with its shortness. Like, it would have been weird if it went longer, but it was perfect. It was so well constructed. I loved that. I loved that. Okay, time to read the next one. Okay, now I'm going to jump into Masquerade Season by Pemi Aguda, and I just wanted to, before I fully get into it, tell you what the tagline is. I think I might have read it when I was looking into it, but I'll read it out loud probably before I get in, because I like, they're short enough that I don't want to give you any more than the little synopsis they give, really. So it says, Paulie is a good son. When he brings home 3 beautiful masquerades, he's expecting that his mother will be proud of him. But when his mother begins asking favors of his masquerades, he realizes that being a good son sometimes means disobeying. So that's what the little summary is. I'm gonna read it now, and I'll tell you my thoughts and things. I've just ordered lunch too, so that's exciting. Okay, that was really sad and sweet. I did have to do some Googling just to get some context, which helped to reinforce the story. So, it's set, I don't know exactly where, but somewhere in Western Africa, or somewhere around there. Masquerades are a common, like, spiritual thing in a lot of Western and Northern African stuff, as far as I could tell. And it's a lot about, like, the spirits and spirits taking the form of these, like if you put on the masquerade outfit and perform, the spirit is taking control in the culture. Like, I don't understand the details of it. I'm not going to be like an expert by any means, but it's a part of a spiritual thing in those some of those cultures, and so we're following this boy as he meets these 3 like spirits, masquerades, and it's a lot about like greed and desire for forward momentum, and it was really good. It's much sadder and thought-provoking than the other story, which was very just whimsical, but it was really, really strong. I really enjoyed it. It's darker, it's more thought-provoking. I think I'm also going to give it 5 stars. It's like a 4.5 going to 5. I feel like enjoyment factor was a little lower than A Little Free Library, but it was really thought-provoking and interesting. So, I don't know. I really struggle with reading things like that. Like, they're so different, so vastly different, but it was really, really good. And I think I'm also going to give it 5 stars. This is, again, a really strong story. I'm having a lot of luck. Okay, it's time to start Blood is Another Word for Hunger by River Solomon. This is the one that, I mean, you just watched it, was not that long ago. River Solomon's the like author I'd read from before. The short little snippet. Anger is an energy. A young girl, a slave in the South, is presented with a moment where she can grasp for freedom, for change, for life. She grabs it with both hands, fiercely and intensely, and the spirit world is shaken. So that's the little summary. I'm going to read it now. This was only like 25 pages according to Goodreads. And I'm going to jump into it. And see what I think. I've really enjoyed everything I've read from River Solomon before. So I think I could really love this. I think it will be really sad and really heartbreaking, and I think I'll really enjoy it. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, that was incredibly powerful. How am I having so much luck this time? I often have a couple that are like 3 stars, most 3 stars, the occasional 2 star, some 4 stars. I rarely get 5 stars from this. Like, it happens sometimes, but not very often. But that was so powerful. It was so good. I don't know how to rank them in the context of what we've got. I think maybe that might be, I think maybe that was the top. It just was super powerful and super thought-provoking and deep and complex and painful. Oh, it's just so good. I think Masquerade Season was really interesting and thought-provoking, but was less emotional. But Blood is Another Word for Hunger was just so emotionally powerful. It was so good. I would 100% recommend this. I love basically everything I've read from Ruby Solomon, and this is no exception. Their work is just outstanding. So 5 stars for Blood is Another Word for Hunger. I'm kind of not surprised, but also like I'm surprised I'm having such good luck with this batch of 5 Total short stories. We'll see how the other 2 go, but like 3 for 3 so far for 5 stars. I only have 2 left, so I'm gonna jump into Annie Without Crow now, and we'll see my thoughts. The tagline for this one says, "An act of indiscretion from her immortal trickster companion sends Annie and her league of ladies-in-waiting on a time-defying adventure that becomes the inspiration for William Shakespeare," which sounds really cool. So I'm gonna read this now, and I'm hoping it's on the fun side. We'll see how we go. Okay, that was another super fun one. It was really funny. So basically the idea is like, the main characters are all like avatars of ideas. Think kind of like Lovely War, and she is the avatar of romance, and she can kind of travel through time and manipulate different stuff, and it was hilarious. It was so funny. It's getting 5 stars. How are we so lucky today? I won't tell you my ranking quite yet, because we'll wait till the last one to see how that plays out, and then I'll give you my final ranking. But it was so funny. It was so good. I definitely recommend this. It's very light, funny, sassy. I don't think you need a complex understanding of Shakespeare, but just kind of like Shakespearean trope a little bit, I guess, and a bit of an understanding of history would go a long way. But it was so good. The final short story we're going to be reading today, now I'm in focus, is The Girlfriend's Guide to Gods by Maria Devana Headley. And its little snippet says, "Gods won't save you, gods will break you. Nevertheless, you will persist and become anew." So that's the little tag. We'll see how it goes. How have we fluked such good 5 books, 5 short stories? That just doesn't happen to me. One time when I read like 10 Total short stories to like last year when I was reading a book a day, and I was trying to get through it quickly because I was behind, I read like 10, and almost all of them there was like 2 5 stars, most of them were 3 stars. Yet we just read 5 and they were all really, really good. So The Girlfriend's Guide to Gods was a really like quirkily written, like, I don't know how to describe, sometimes where things just move in a way that's kind of poetic. I love it to pieces. I think as a story it's maybe less complex or thought-provoking as some of the others, but it was so good. So final ranking of these 5 stories. At number 5 we have Masquerade Season. I think, well, I've said all of these were amazing, but I think this probably had the least emotional connection for me, but it was a really interesting look at culture and spirituality, and I really liked the messages it brought up. It was just probably the least emotional to me. At number 4 we have The Girlfriend's Guide to Gods. This was really well written and interestingly written, but again I feel like I had a less emotional connection. but still really, really good. At number 3, we have Little Free Library. This was just so whimsical and like my perfect kind of whimsy, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's not particularly deep, but it's just really well written and really concise, and I loved it. At number 2, we have Annie Without Crow, which I thought was funny and smart and clever, and really well written. I did great things. And then at number 1, we have Blood Is Another Word for Hunger, which I think just had the most emotional response for me. It was really gritty and dark and complex. I really, really like explorations of like dark themes. Like, it was talking about slavery and reclamation of self, and I don't know, it was just so well developed. I really, really enjoyed it. I like was so emotionally connected to the story. It was really dark and like I felt it, and it was so powerful that it had to be my number 1 spot. So that's my 5. How did I get 5 5-star short stories? It's just not reasonable. Like, that doesn't happen. But somehow we fluked it today. So I'm probably going to do another one of these at some point, and do another 5 short stories. There are plenty of others that I'm interested in. I'm always interested in these short stories. There's always plenty that I would like to read. So I think probably next month I'll do another collection of 5 in a little video like this. We'll chat about them, go through them, rank them. This was fun. This was fun. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading them. They were all so good. And hopefully you enjoyed coming along this little journey with me. Hopefully after seeing me read these little short stories, you might be interested in reading more Tor.com short stories, or picking up Tor.com short stories for the first time, and having a read. I think they all are, to me, read a little shorter than like short stories in a anthology. Like, not many of them are particularly super long, and I always find the longer ones in an anthology really drudge. I always have like a 1 5-star favorite and a lot of averages, like average ones in an anthology collection, but I seem to get a decent amount of luck in Tor.com short stories, and yeah, these were so good. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's only short, but hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time in another video. Bye!